You see, it's Steve Whitty again, and I promise you this is the final video of the Vinyl Hall Volume 68. As I said, this is finishing off my purchases from this dates back nearly 2 months now. So, without further ado, one of the joys of going in the pound bins is finding something that you never would expect to find because there's a bit of an imperfection. That's usually a cover. Pete at the back had some ready to put out and said, well, can I have a little look? And he said, yeah, sure. And in the patch I found just stuff that I wasn't too keen on, but I did find this. This is Pink Floyd, if I got it right, upside down, obscured by clouds. This is from 1972. This is, I think, an original. Obviously, no cover, no inner. I think it does suffer a little bit sound-wise, but it doesn't skip or anything like that. It's okay. It was a soundtrack, I believe, the album, so slightly different to normal stuff. So, but one Pink Floyd album I was pleased to get hold of. This is Medal. Again, this came out in 1972. No, 1971, I believe. Yeah, 1971. So this sort of predates Obscured by Clouds, and this is sort of like the leap that when you're starting going towards the dark side of the moon. You've obviously got One of These Days, which is that great instrumental piece at the start of the album, but really, it has to be Echoes, this B track that stands out on here. And I was only just listening to that yesterday. Sorry, it was Saturday. I was listening to that, and I was listening to it on the Dave Gilmour's Live in Gdansk album, and I could see why now Rick Wright's no longer with us, why he can't perform it anymore, because it just works with them pair. Just bounce off each other. Stonking album, pleased I've got that. My Pink Floyd is starting to grow steadily. Typical 80s album, and this is, you can see, it cost me £1, but you can see there's quite a bit of water damage on the cover. This is Propaganda and A Perfect Wish. This came out on the ZTT label. In fact, I think that lady there, I think it's Claudia Brooker, ended up marrying Paul Morley, one of the big wigs at the label. It's an album of its time. It's fair to say. Just looking here at probably the best known track on here is Jewel, which was a top 20 single in the UK. It was used by Channel 4 for its American football coverage. It was the soundtrack, which it was quite an unusual choice, but it's a great song. It is very 80s sounding, very synth pop, I would say. But not a bad album. I've heard worse from that period, let me tell you. Charity Shop fine. Diana Ross and Supremes, Greatest Hits Volume 2. It's just an original Motown. So this sort of covers really the Cindy Bertong era. As you can tell, it's Diana Ross and Supremes. When Forrest Ballard was in, it was the Supremes. When she was out, it was Diana Ross and Supremes. You see where Berry Gordy was going with this. It opens with Someday We'll Be Together, which is the last single that came up. Interesting version of the band's The Weight. You've got Love Child, I'm Living in Shame. What else? Second That Emotion, their version of that. Forever Comes a Day, In and Out of Love. Yeah, not bad. I think the earlier singles are the better ones, to be quite honest. This is in gorgeous nick for £1. This is Boss Gags and Silk Degrees. This is probably his best known album. This is really became sort of that dance. You've got What Can I Say? We're All Alone. But my favourite track is Lido Shuffle. It's just it makes me want to dance. And if you see me dance, you know it takes a lot to get me on the floor. Probably a few sherbets down my neck. But yeah, it's just a great album. Pleased to get hold of that. It's such good nick as well. Another pound find, and this sort of completes my Simon and Garfunkel collection, bookends. Um, you've got on here America, Old Friends, Mrs. Robinson's on here, Hazy Shade of Winter, At the Zoo. It's a good record. It's again plays well. It's an original, so I was pleased to get hold of that. Reason some of these are pound is the covers are like falling apart. Bit of Yoo-Hoo on them. That's as good as new. And I have to say that for this one. This is Paul Simon's debut album, released in '72. It obviously found out with Art Garfunkel. They just decided that periodical falling out. Great solo album. Paul Simon's big plus for me is he's very got it with rhythms. He's quite quite pleased just to try different styles. So you've got Mother and Child Reunion, bit of sort of like reggae type tune to it. Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard, Amethyst Day, Peace Like a River, Papa Hoba. It's just a great album again, and as a debut solo album and an album of intent. A record I've always been keen to get hold of, and again I found this in the pound bins. This is a Decca compilation. This is the World of Cat Stevens. Now, Decca did what's called World of Albums, which was sort of like a greatest hits of artists on their label. Cat Stevens, you've got your early stuff here. This is sort of predates the Ireland years. So you've got Matthew and Son, I Love My Dog. First cut is the deepest. Here Comes My Baby. Such an uplifting tune. Though the lyrics are such a down, it's just a great one. Tremolo's had a big hit with that. School Is Out, Where Are You? So I've got The World of Marianne Faithfull as well. There's a whole load of these albums. I've seen one of Eric Clapton. I might pick that up if I see that again. These are not bad little compilations. Again, this only cost me a quid because the cover was falling apart a little bit. Again, back to the old Yoo-Hoo and sort that out. Somewhat totally different, and I found this in the charity shop. This is a bit of roots reggae. This is Talisman, Taking the Strain. Talisman were a band from Bristol in the UK, but this is on the Embryo Records label. This is absolutely mint. This is. I probably only been played there once and probably didn't like it, but it's just great. It's just a great album. You've got Taking the Strain, Crime of Passion, Lick and Run, Awa You Say, Lord of the Dance, Stride On, I'm Sorry, Calamity, Burn the Bread. Good reggae album. It's definitely worth checking out. If you can get hold of a copy, I'd certainly say pick that up if you like reggae. Again, something totally different. This is the Tubes Remote Control album. Again, I found this in the pound bin and it plays great. There's the band doing their skit on Celebrity Squares. Best known track on here is Prime Time, which was a top 40 single for them. I think this might have been the biggest single. It might have been that All White Punks, which I showed in the first of the videos today. This is just a great song. This is a great album. Tubes, I just think are so underestimated. And again, if I can find more of their albums, I'm just going to pick them up. This just might make me explore a bit more. And I managed to pick up a copy of Tales from Topographic Oceans. I can't make my mind up about this album. I've heard so much about it, possibly because I've read too much about what Rick Wakeman's view about the album. It's 4 tracks, basically. John Anderson had particularly got into his head a vision. He'd read a book. You can tell I haven't prepped for this properly. And I just think some of it's a bit long-winded. I like my prog, don't get me wrong. But I like a tune as well. You can play notes 100 mile an hour or go widdly diddly what. As long as you've got a bit of you've always got a tune to get back to. I just wonder the times when I've listened to this, and I've listened to this in the past, whether there's tunes waiting to get out of there, and a bit of editing might have made the album a bit more tolerable. And the final album, I guess it came in the charity shop, and it's a charity album for the aid of Save the Children. This came out, oh blimey, when did this come out? It is old. I'm just going to say the last track's 1966. I've picked this up because there's a couple of songs on this. Some of it very middle of the road. So if I read views on this, there's Begin the Begin by Andy Williams. You don't have to say you love me, Dusty Springfield. Yeah, I'll buy that. I Could Easily Fall, Cliff Richard. Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore, Walker Brothers. Shall I Compare the Johnny Dank with Clear Lane? That's all right. England Swings, Roger Miller. Every Little Bit Hurts, Spencer Daly Group. Definitely, it's worth buying for that. Hello Dolly by Frankie Vaughan. Okay. Gotta See My Baby Every Day, Sandy Shaw. Yep. Walk Tour, Val Doonigan. Now Val Doonigan, for those, was an Irish entertainer. Was very popular on English telly throughout the 60s and 70s. Famous really for crooning in his rocking chair. He usually did that at the end of his show. Very nothing inoffensive. Walk Tour was a hit single for him. Rondo by the Swingle Singers, so that might be worth seeing. From looking at the picture there, might be a bit of a vocal harmony group. If I Ruled the World, Harry Seeker. What can you say? I hope he doesn't blow a raspberry in it. Harry Seeker was a member of the Goons. I've seen Goon records flying around. I'm going to have to buy them because British comedy, if you got Harry Seeker part of the Goons are the starting point of British comedy, in my view. However, he had a fine operatic voice. He did the tunes. He's very popular with doing religious programs on a Sunday. Kathy Kirby, Dance On. She was very popular in the early 60s. Probably one of the biggest vocalists in Britain. Her and Alma Cogan, I think, were the top vying for that top spot in Britain. And then finally, Happiness by Ken Dodd. Oh, you've got to have a bit of Doddy at the end. So that's it. So those are the 4 videos recorded. If you're not totally bored and you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button. I'm always happy for some more subscribers. If you liked what you're seeing, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Well, I won't get too upset about that. Love to hear from you, comments, and I'll reply back to you. So, this is going to be the last video for, I'm going to say 3 weeks, I think. I'll fly off on Wednesday from your holiday. So, I'll try and keep on top of the videos. I'm pretty much up to date now. Watching videos I can, but obviously I'll be too busy relaxing. I'll be listening to music, but I will be relaxing. So, till the next time I see you, take care. Keep listening to the music. Most importantly, keep smiling. And as Doddy says, tatty bye, satty bye.